Hey YouTube, Motion512 here, and today I just want to talk to you about this, which is the PSP. Over here in the UK, it's a pretty underrated system. Not many people seem to collect for it, or buy them, they're everywhere, and you can buy them pretty cheap. Like this is the first model of the PSP, and I bought this for about £15. You can probably still get them even cheaper now. I've seen them for like £10 and things like that. There is better models out there. I'd recommend the slim and light version, which is about £25 to £30. Since it loads games faster, the buttons feel better, the system feels better since it's smaller in the hands and not as clunky. But yeah, this will do for me. I've had no problems with it, and it's been dropped a few times and still held up. The games themselves as well are dirt cheap, like most of them are under £10, apart from the odd certain JRPG. So I'd recommend definitely picking one up, even if you can't afford the games. I'm not saying you should do it, but it's easy enough to pirate games as well, like to mod the system, put games on it for nothing. And it's also a pretty damn good emulator for other systems, so you can't go wrong. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys my collection so far. So there's my system with my original cover from years ago when I had my first PSP. Start with the Final Fantasy games I showed you in my FF collection, just to get them out of the way. There's Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 4 The Complete Collection, which includes Prelude, After Years and Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy Dissidia 12 Duodecim, I just call it Dissidia 2, and that's it for those. The only other collector's edition I have is Lords of Arcana, or Lord of Arcana, which is another Square Enix game. This is called the Slayer edition. It's a really fun Monster Hunter clone sort of thing. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, it's not exactly like Monster Hunter. Think of it as Monster Hunter, but with the Crisis Core battle system. That's pretty much the best way to put this. Really fun game. It does have a few nods to the Final Fantasy franchise, since one of the bosses later on in the game is Bahamut. There's a couple others in there. Yeah, really fun game. Next, Lord of the Rings Tactics. I used to like this when it first came out, since I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, but going back to it now, it's not that good of a tactics game. It's pretty boring, to be honest. If you want a tactics game, either pick up the Disgaea games or Final Fantasy Tactics on PSP. Next, Field Commander. This is the PSP's answer to Advance Wars, just pretty much the exact same game with different art style. Next, I have Judgment Legends. Excuse me. Eye of Judgment Legends is practically the same Eye of Judgment games you played on the PlayStation 3, just without having to use the camera and things. Has all the cards from the first and second set, and has a story to it. Really fun game. Next is Mega Man Legends. I wish. Mega Man X Maverick Hunter. This is a great port and remaster of Mega Man X from the Super Nintendo. Really fun game and works really well on the PSP, no problems at all. Next, I might as well do these two together. Star Ocean, First Departure and Second Evolution. These are some of the PSP JRPGs I was talking about, where the prices are starting to go up now. I got these pretty cheap, but on eBay now they're starting to pick up. Really great series of games. I didn't play Star Ocean until the third one on the PS2, and I've played The Last Hope. This was the first time I got to play these two, was when I picked these copies up. If you like the Tales of games, or series, I'd recommend giving these a shot. The battle system's pretty much the same. I just prefer the story in the second one to the first, but both hold up really well today and are really good JRPGs. Another series I might as well do together, Metal Gear Acid 1 and Metal Gear Acid 2. Really fun card game. If you've looked at them before and thought maybe I don't want to give them a go since they don't play like a normal Metal Gear game, I'd still recommend giving them a shot. They're really fun, awesome little card games and a nice alternate spin on how Metal Gear is played, I guess. So the first one. Second one, that one did have the goggles in, but a friend of mine collects Metal Gear like as his main collection, so I gave him the goggles in. But still, this one comes with like an art book, like a card book. So as you collect the cards in game, I guess you could tick them off. But yeah, really fun games. Next is Half Minute Hero. Really fun quick RPG puzzle game, I guess. It's not really a puzzle game, but it sort of feels like one at the same time with how quick you have to do things. It's literally a quick RPG story that lasts half a minute, but you can gain extra time, and in that half a minute you have to level up as fast as you can and go fight the final boss for that level. You get a piece of gear, equip that to your character, and go on to the next level. Really, really fun game. Strange though. Next is Dungeons and Dragons Tactics. If you're a fan of D&D, the pen and paper game, this is really good for you. It plays like the 3.5 edition rules. Really fun for the single player version, like part of it, the campaign and things. You roll your own. You can either choose a set of random characters or roll your own 4 party members. But the multiplayer doesn't work as well as you'd think. You would hope it was co-op. It's not really. It's sort of just a one map thing. You don't get to do the whole campaign co-op. But yeah, still a really fun D&D game if you're into that. Archer McLean's Mercury. Really fun, simple puzzle game with rolling Mercury around boards, change it to different colours to unlock different coloured doors and switches. Next, Valkyria Chronicles 2 plays exactly but pretty much like the first and the third one, with a few smaller differences. Really great to have on the go. If you've not played the Valkyria Chronicles games, even the first one, I'd say give it a go. You can get the first one on PS3 and Steam now. So yeah, amazing third-person turn-based strategy game. Purple LaCroix, really, really underrated JRPG. Really damn good JRPG. I enjoyed the story myself. This came out originally on the PS1 in Japan as 3 books. This is all 3 books in one game. The battle system is sort of on a grid, turn-based movement battle system, like a tactics game, I guess. But really, really good. A lot of fun. Next, Breath of Fire 3. Another really damn good JRPG. It's another series like the Final Fantasy games where they don't sort of go in order. You can play any of them and it's a new story. But this is pretty much you play as this guy here, Ryu, or Ryu, whatever you want to call him. You end up getting dragon powers. You can mix and match those powers to turn to different dragons, and it's a standard JRPG turn-based battle system with a really great story and great art, like art design behind it. Awesome game. This didn't come out on the PSP in America, sadly, but the PSP is region free, so you could still buy it in Europe and play it on an American PSP. Next one. This is Tales of Eternia. Huge fan of the Tales series. I think either this one or Symphonia was the first one I played, I can't remember, but I'm sure it was this one. Just with the PSP version of this, I know it's on PS1 in America, but the PSP PAL version of this is the only version we've got, and there's an issue with it. There's 2 versions. There's a 2.51 version and a 2.50 version, I believe, or 2.50 and 2.60. I'm not sure exactly how, you'd have to look up on it, but the smaller numbered version, like the earlier version, you'll get to a boss called Undine, which is a watered spirit, and as soon as you beat her, you're supposed to get a key item to carry on with the game. The first version doesn't drop that, so you can't carry on with the game, and there's no way to fix it. There's no patch, nothing. So be careful if you do pick this up. Either ask the seller or read the description, hopefully they'll say. When I got this, it did say it was the correct version. But yeah, really fun 2D JRPG. Next is Mac Modified Air Combat Heroes. A really, really strange game. When I first picked this up, it was like £2 or something. I thought, oh cool, it's like an Ace Combat game by Sierra. I'll give it a go, why not? Popped it in, gave it a go. Turns out it's an Ace Combat racing game. Still rather fun, but rather strange at the same time. But worth a go if you can find it cheap, I guess. Next, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I'm a huge fan of the Monster Hunter series, absolutely adore them. Fantastic games. This is the last one we got over here in the West. There is Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, which if you're a sneaky mister, you can download for the PSP and get a translated patch for it, so it'll be in English. But still, even if you just put this one, you're going to get hundreds of hours out of it, and it's absolutely fantastic. A bit awkward to play with the PSP's control scheme, but still worth a go. Next one is Super Vehicle 1 Metal Slug Anthology. This is a bunch of the Metal Slug games, we all know what they are. So you get 1, 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Slug. Metal Gear Slug? I just can't fucking talk. Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug... and we're not going to autofocus. That is Metal Slug 5, and Metal Slug 5 again. What? They're both 5? That's strange. I don't know, there must be different versions or something. But yeah, great little anthology collection, all run really well on the PSP, and a lot of fun. Finally, and definitely not least, is God's Eater Burst. This is another Monster Hunter style game, but done by Namco. It also had an anime series, I believe, in Japan. The second one's out for those, and we may get it on PS4 at some point. Fingers crossed that we do get that. But a really fun take on Monster Hunter style games. Definitely worth a pick up if you like those sort of games, and if you're into anime and things. So yeah, that's my whole PSP collection. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.